Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I am using the Silverblack Spear, and I've got to say, a lot of people have told me that the Spear class weapons in this game are really bad, and I have to disagree. Now, yes, the Spear class weapons in Dark Souls 2 are very different than the ones in Dark Souls 1. In Dark Souls 1 you were able to just sort of spam away R1 with them, and that was all you really needed to do. You can't exactly do that this time around, and I think that's actually an improvement. So, anyway, this time I'm using the Silverblack Spear. Now, the Silverblack Spear requires where did I get 6 from? 9 strength, 16 dexterity, that might have been where I got the 6 from, 8 intelligence, and 8 faith. It has a C scaling in strength and dexterity, along with a C scaling in dark. Now, the physical base damage of the weapon is 100, the dark base damage is 110. For me, the attack rating is 384 with a Ring of Blades plus 1, and the counter strength is 130. The poise damage is 20 per hit. Now, for the majority of the fights, I am using one that is infused with dark. When you infuse it with dark, the scaling changes and becomes a D scaling in strength and dexterity, and a B scaling in dark. The physical base damage goes down from 100 to 96, and the dark base damage goes up from 110 to 158. For me, this increases my attack rating up to 443 with a Ring of Blades plus 1. So that is a pretty significant upgrade. Now, with the Silverblack Spear, and with spears in general in Dark Souls 2, the sweet spots are very noticeable on spears. In Dark Souls 1, it didn't matter where you hit with on a weapon, it didn't matter what part of the weapon you hit with, as long as it hit them, it would deal the same amount of damage anywhere along the weapon. In Dark Souls 2, you really need to take advantage of the spear's length to get the full effect of its damage output. You've probably seen a few times by now in the video, I'm hitting some pretty high numbers on some of these attacks, and yes, even though there are some people, are using Great Magic Barrier, I'm still able to hit pretty decent damage numbers. Not, 300s, 400s, but, a couple 200s, I can deal with that. That's not too horrible. And really, they shouldn't be getting close to me anyway. They shouldn't be getting too close to me anyway because I'm using a spear, and if they're close, then I'm not taking advantage of my spear properly. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, the biggest pro of this weapon, I would definitely have to say, would be the reach. Spears have a very good reach, and, that just makes sense. And when you actually take advantage of it fully, which is extremely encouraged by the fact that they have sweet spots now, when you do it correct, you'll hit good damage values, you'll be able to be out of your opponent's range, and you will be able to finish them off without much of a problem, really. I fought quite a few people who were wearing heavier armor, as well as these people that I've been fighting throughout this video who were wearing the lighter armor. Against heavier armor, it does do significantly less damage, but that should be expected. The reason why I'm not showing any of those fights is because I just wasn't recording at the time. This is one of the weapons that I like to use when I'm streaming, just doing random invasions, doing fight clubs, because first off, it's actually really fun to use, and the moveset takes a bit of work to get used to. Second, it's not just the same thing over and over and over. It's nice for a change, and it's nice that this spear... The hell was that? Anyway, it's nice that this spear has a slashing attack, so that is another huge pro of the weapon. The cons of the weapon, I would have to say that one of the biggest cons would be the fact that if you are not hitting directly with the tip of the spear, you will be doing significantly less damage. That can take a lot of getting used to, and that is probably why a lot of people have the impression that spears in this game are not good. So other than that, I would have to say that this is a pretty good weapon. I wouldn't really consider there to be any more cons. I guess you can argue the fact that because it does split damage, and it can have its damage output reduced by Great Magic Barrier, that should be a con. But really, in my opinion, it's not for this weapon for two reasons. The first of which would be the fact that you can still do decent damage through Great Magic Barrier, and the second would be the fact that it's a spear, and spears in this game are really meant to just sort of chip away at an opponent's health and just bring them down a little bit at a time, and that's really all it is going to do against Great Magic Barrier. It's not like it's changing the way you have to play entirely. So I really don't think it matters too terribly much. So that's just my opinion there. Anyway, that was all I've really got to say about this weapon. If you guys feel like I've missed any pros or cons for the weapon, then please let me know down in the comments. This is the last fight in the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, found it helpful in one way or another. Please like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.